Hello everyone, welcome to another video in this channel, and today we are going to hands-on. Yes, we are going to build a software or a product that task is to scrape information from a website, and we are going to do it on the most important on a cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. And let's name it as a crypto AI analyst, let's rather to say that. And what we are going to learn, or the workflow that we are going to see today in this project, is we'll first set up our system for running the experiment. Step 2 is scrape the content or prepare the website content for us. As this is the data, we will do the prepare the prompting, which is and touch base on what are system prompt and user prompt that are more needed. Now, once this prompting is created and the data is available with us, we'll push this prompt and the data of the website to the LLM, and this is the step 4 where we call the LLM API. And the last step, which is the 5, is we see the content of the output. So what we'll see what the crypto AI analyst has generated for us, or the market insight that is provided based on the cryptocurrency. Now, the idea behind this project is not to create some sellable product or something, but to showcase the power of combination of LLM and scraping. Now, scraping is an idea where we can, extract information from any website. So I think it's going to be a very interesting video. And without further ado, let's begin. Okay, guys, so as we discussed, we'll build this project. And before we start, I want to touch base on two websites. One from where we are actually going to scrape, and second, the LLM. So, the first website I would like to show you is this CoinMarket website. This is where the cryptocurrencies and all those things are traded. So you can see the prices and everything. Uh, that what we are going to scrape is from here the daily movement of the Bitcoin price. So it's just the Bitcoin, and then type in the historical data. Once we come to this Bitcoin price available. So this price is still December 11th. So we'll have December 11th data, since this is today's 12th, right? So we'll not get today's end of the day data. So 11th data is available. So that's the scraping of the data that we are going to do from this website, which is CoinMarketCap. And the second website is the LLM, and we are utilizing OpenAI models. And you have already seen one of our video how to extract OpenAI API keys. But so I'll not touch base how to do that. I'll just showcase that. Let's go to OpenAI platform and sign in to your thing, and we go to API keys, and then create a new secret key like a test, name it whatever you want, and then create the secret key. Okay, so copy this, and we need this into it. Now let's go to our Swareware system. Now we'll be using VS Code. Now we have a separate video. In our last video, we actually did something on how to set up your system with VS Code and Jupyter Notebook. So we'll be utilizing VS Code, and inside VS Code we'll use Jupyter Notebook. Please look into that video, link above, and we'll start. So the first thing what you see is the VS Code. And the first, you may remember, we copied the API key with us, and I would emphasize, never ever ever showcase your API key to anyone. That means do not put your API keys on the notebook directly, or to the Python .py file. So in order to save your API key, we have something which is called a .env file. So we'll create a .env file. Like if you go here, new file, go to this .env. Now I already have a .env file where I have my API keys, which I do not want to expose. So I'll not showcase that. Let me just rename this to .env1. But remember, it has to be named as .env itself. Okay. And now, once this file is created, just type in OpenAI API key equals to and paste it. Now, this is the code you should paste in. This will actually not expose your API key to the Jupyter notebook or where we are doing it. So this is the best way on a industrial level how we would actually do it. So we save this and then close this. So that's all your API keys you should use. Let's say you are working on a different project where you have multiple API keys, like you are using Google, you are using Anthropic, or you are using Hugging Face, or some other project like what we do. Let's say, for example, let me talk, since I have spoken about API key, is if you see this data can also be extracted like from the Bitcoin price from API key. Actually, that's the right way of extracting this, but today's project is not about building something on crypto, but to showcase how to scrape any website. So the best way you can pull this API key and paste it over there in the .env file. Okay, so that's the right way of doing it. So let's go back again, and we have the environment set up. So that's most important. That's the very first part that you should do. Now once you have the environment set up, we will have the notebook created. So you know how to use notebook is, once I type in, let's say, one dot, the name of the notebook that we want to give is IPYNB. That's the notebook extension. And once we have, our notebook is available, and what you see here, we can actually do a code and a markdown. So code is where we will run those. Markdown is somewhere we actually give comments for better visibility. I'll show you that. Okay, so I already have the web scraper created, so we'll go to that web scraper itself. And this is what the page notebook that I have created for you guys. And if you see, I named it as Crypto AI Analyst. No, as I was mentioning, code and markdown, if you hover on to top of it, we need a markdown. So let's say, if I click markdown, this is not a code. So any code that you run, it will never run. Okay, so it's a markdown where you give comments. So the way to markdown is, you can type in something like this, test, and shift enter. That's the shortcut. Then test will showcase. But let's say, I if you do a hash key then and space, then you will have a header, bold header coming in. And the same way, if you add multiple hash together, the size of the character reduces. Okay, like this. So that's markdown, and the code is where you will see will run. So I have created the name as Crypto AI Analyst. So the step one is import necessary libraries, because these are the things that we will be running. Now again, go back, how to add, in case these libraries are not installed for you. You know how to install these libraries, right? Based on the previous video, you can go and check, but let me show you, just to test and also showcase how to write the code. Now we already saw markdown. This is what code. Once we click here, I will type in pip install, let's say, OpenAI. You want to do it because that's what one of the most important thing we want to do. So once I do shift enter, it will start installing the OpenAI. So you see, it's already satisfied. That means it's already installed for me. So I do not need. But all these packages, these are all packages you need to install. Like BeautifulSoup is the package for scraping. So you need this, and OpenAI is also something that you need for this project. So, and rest are already inbuilt. That is system packages that you can do. So you just copy this packages that we need, and the next is to load the API, that the OpenAI API that we actually saved in our .env file. And this is what we are saying: load .env file and the API key os.get. Now, since if you see, I have imported OS, and that's where you can actually bring in your API keys or environment file. I'm saying get environment and OpenAI API key because that's the name I have given. So now you're not specifying any API key straightforward, but you are just calling in the API key name, and that's where this thing. Let me just run these packages. And so whenever it is taking time, I'll just fast forward this so that our video is little not bigger in that case. So this will check whether an API key is available or not. Yeah, don't worry, I'll give this code to my GitHub profile. You can just download this. I'll add the link. So don't worry about this. Just look into this what we are building, and let's run this. And it says API key found and looks good because I have specified sk dash proj dash. Now that's where API key actually starts with. If you see OpenAI's API key, it starts with sk proj dash. So that's how it's checking. Okay, if that API key was not there, it will showcase this, that there is no API key. So print all this information. So step 3 is initialize OpenAI with my API key. So that means the API key that we have, if we are initializing with OpenAI, and we are calling in OpenAI package onto this function and saying API key equals to API key. Now, step 4 is where we create the class of this website. Okay, so it does three things. One, it fetches the website, extracts the title, and then clean text by removing unnecessary elements, because there are a lot of HTML tags and everything that comes with a website, and we do not need those. We just need the information that is available to us. So we are doing that. So this is the code. Now the most important code over here, if you see, is this line where it says self.text soup body get text separator and strip. So this is where we are getting the clean data without any breaking of lines, with line breaks between elements and everything. And this ensures the web page text is clean and structured, so that the AI can read properly. Okay, so this is what, and we are using this BeautifulSoup package. Okay, that's the main package that is helping us to extract this information. So let's just run this, and it has run, you see. So the next step is I will pass on this website that we created, the class website, and we will extract the information. Okay, so, and I'm passing in the URL, and this is, let's just type in historical, or let's just say state like that. Okay, let's just keep it like that. And although we can type in the historical data straightforward, but let's see what it gives. Now it says I am also printing what the test numbers and all these things. You can see page title, Bitcoin price today, BTC, and all those things with coin market. So our thing is working, right? And I'm also showing how many text characters or the length has been extracted for us. And this is all the informations that the website has got, okay, to showcase. So we have historical snapshot, categories, yields, upcomings, XYZ, so many informations are there. And this is just truncated, okay, just the 500 lines. There are many lines, so I don't want to our output to go so big, right? So we're just truncating those 500 characters, and we have specified that if you see print text website text, so where we are specifying just extract the 500 characters. Now the sixth step, which is very important, and the seventh step also, is where we are saying create the system prompt. Now there are two prompts. One is a system prompt, one is a user prompt. A system prompt is about setting the personality of the AI, or giving it a hat to wear. Let's say, for example, I am telling him to be an analyst, so I will specify be an analyst. Okay, so that will give more better output from the LLM. We'll get that. So that's the better way of doing it, and it giving the AI a job description. Okay, and this is the system prompt that I'm saying. You are a crypto AI analyst, just read through that. I'm also saying what are the rules of your output should be, where we have specified, because we are, if we have an description and an output that gives, and the rules, it gives the LLM some guardrails to look forward, okay, and not to give output out of that. So we are specifying that. Let's just print that. What we are saying is your job is, so you are a crypto analyst, and this is all this information we just printed. Seventh step is the user prompt. Now this is where the actual question that we want to ask. Let's say, for example, I just said act as an analyst, and then whatever task that I asked the analyst to do is the user prompt. Okay, so that's something. It includes context, instruction, and the data. So the data is the data that we have extracted earlier from the website, the historical data. Okay, if you see, okay, we are writing a class, but this is what we are specifying, that this is a whenever you see there is three some context between three columns, it is also it is also a comment that we are specifying. Okay, that's the way of doing Python programming. Okay, best way of doing it. Some standard ways of doing. So the part one is the context. I'm saying you are analyzing Bitcoin data. Okay, now let's say for example you want to do, instead of Bitcoin you want to do Ethereum. We can change this Bitcoin anywhere that there is Bitcoin, we can change it to Ethereum or in number of thing. Okay, and there is much more better way of doing it, but we'll touch base on that also later on a different video how to do, because I cannot keep on typing or making changes to the Bitcoin. So we'll do a placeholder so that whenever we in a code we just type in Ethereum, and then this name will change automatically in each of the places. Okay, but yeah, that's a different topic for some other day. I just wanted to make sure that we can do that way also. Okay? It's just Python, the way of programming. So I'm saying context is this, instruction is please analyze the data, recent price trend and patterns, and then response in a markdown file so that I can see information very nicely. Okay, because markdown is very nicely showcases. And then the actual data that we have extracted from the historical data and we are passing it. So we are passing all the three pieces to this user prompt, and then I'm showcasing. Let's just print this, okay, and see what it says. So user prompt, it says you are analyzing from the Bitcoin. You see this name, Bitcoin price today, this was the name that we passed in. uh, Analyze this up and down, and then the data that we saw earlier, right, which the truncated on the 500 characters, this was something that was there. So this is the data that is getting passed. Now the step 8 is the API call. Now, as I said, this is where our OpenAI LLM will start gathering. So we have the system information and passing on the user information, and that's where the LLM start working. Let's just see what it says. That complete. So it fetch website content. What it will do, it will prepare the prompts, call OpenAI API, and return the AI analysis. And here, and the most important part of any LLM is just this piece of code. Yes, just this piece of code can run all your systems. Okay, yeah, that's the one. So you said, you see, OpenAI we have already specified, and then from OpenAI.chat.completion, and then we are saying which model. Now I can specify n number of models here, but again, we can use as placeholder also. And see, we have system prompt and the user prompt. So we are saying role equals to system, and content is the system prompt that we have specified, and then another is the user prompt, which is the website content that we have created earlier. And let's just print this. You can, we don't want to print it because we'll run this class entirely, but imagine this is the only piece of code that is more important to anything. Even if you're not passing any data, you can still work on just whatever the informations the LLM has within itself, so you can do that. Okay, so this is the most important piece of anything, and this is by OpenAI. Okay, endpoint. So this is an endpoint, by the way. We'll touch on a different video what is an endpoint. I want to showcase, and will not touch base on this video. And then the step 9, the final, is run the complete analysis. And you see I have passed on the URL on the historical data and the summarizer URL. You see we have created the summarizer, okay, and the URL which needs to be done. So I am calling this function, named it as summarizer, and calling this URL inside the summarizer, and this should be the output that we are getting. So let's see what Bitcoin prices are from 20. So you see it is analysis from raw data to AI insights. We have named this, right? This is what final insights. It's calling, it's running, it's calling, it is using. And if you see, we have content, this many characters getting fetched. We are using GPT-4o mini and response received. You see we have Bitcoin market analysis now, recent price trend, which is 92,500, 24 hours change trend, what is happening, low high volatility, key patterns has continued to hold strong, with volume approximately 90, and watch the breakout point, keeps an eye on 93. It's saying that this might be a breakout point. trade with caution, and then there is a risk uh, of market is still quite volatile. We don't know what are the opportunities. The positive overall sentiment may present opportunities for short term. And final note, so what we did is scrape the information, passed on to the LLM, and then the LLM was able to give us insight as an analyst, which might take some time. And now we have already in just click of a button, and it took almost uh, 12 seconds to get this insight. Okay, so this is what let's you know what I can we can actually see it opened, it went high 93,554, low and closed. So 93,554 is something we can trace back. 93,554. Okay, so if you see, 93,554 was the high, and current price as the end of the day, it was this
So guys,
92,500.
that was the short project that we built on scraping and using LLM to do market insights and everything about Bitcoin. You can test on anything, Ethereum or any cryptocurrency. I would say what is please comment below and let me know what is the cryptocurrency that you have used. Also, as I said, this is a template that you can utilize. You just have to change the URL and the system prompt and user prompt to get scrape anything from the website, any website that is on the internet, so whether it's market intelligence, whether it's computer analysis, whether it's a brochure making, whatever you want, you can build, extract that information and then build something from there. And I hope you had something to take away from this video, and I'll be bringing a lot more like this, and these are the steps where you can build your own system. So you can do this inside OpenAI ChatGPT, right? But this is where building from scratch, you understand how to use API and then build something of your own. So I hope this was great on taking something from my end, and there are more videos that would you see, so stay tuned and keep following and subscribe. Thank you.